All right, so today we're really diving deep into this idea of relief.
Oh, yeah.
And specifically,
Okay.
a recent General Conference address
Yeah.
by President Camille and Johnson
Mm-hmm.
is called Jesus Christ is Relief.
It's going to be good. She's a great speaker.
Yeah, and it's such a universal topic, too.
Right.
Like, everybody wants relief from something, right?
Oh, absolutely. And this address is fascinating.
Okay.
She really weaves together like these relatable everyday experiences with these really profound like theological truths.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so powerful.
Definitely.
It's not just some, like, abstract sermon, you know?
Yeah.
She takes this concept of relief and makes it so personal.
Okay.
And she starts with this brilliant metaphor, a backpack full of rocks
Yeah.
to represent the burdens we all carry.
It's so visual, right?
Yeah.
You immediately get, like, we've all felt that,
Well, yeah.
that weight, you know, that
Or-
sense of being just bogged down. And what I think is really clever is how she breaks down these rocks into, like, different categories. It's
Right.
not just one thing, right? It's
Right.
like she acknowledges all these different sources for the burdens that we have.
So, like, walk us through those a little bit. What kinds of rocks are we talking about here?
Okay, so she starts with what she calls the rocks of our own doing.
Okay.
And that's like, you know, the consequences of our own choices.
Yeah, the times we mess up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like maybe we made a poor choice or, you know, we didn't quite hit the mark.
Right, or we straight up, like, sinned.
Exactly. And we carry that with us.
Yeah, that sense of responsibility.
Or even like guilt or regret.
Oh, yeah.
That can feel really heavy.
Which honestly can feel like the heaviest rock sometimes
Yeah.
because we're often our own worst critics.
Absolutely. We are so hard on ourselves.
Totally.
But then she shifts a little bit.
Okay.
And she talks about the rocks that other people put in our backpacks.
Oh.
The ones that we don't ask for.
Oh, like the hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
From other people.
Like betrayal. Or just mean things people have said.
Things that weren't our fault.
Exactly. And yet we still feel the weight of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like this extra weight that we're not even responsible for.
Yeah, because it feels unfair.
Yes.
Like, why am I carrying this?
Exactly. It's not even mine to carry.
This is making me think about, like, family stuff already.
Oh, totally.
Like things that you didn't do it, but you still carry the weight of it.
Absolutely. And then she adds another layer.
Okay.
She talks about the rocks that come
Okay.
just from living in a fallen world.
Okay.
So it's not even about our choices or other people's choices.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of living in a world where there's pain.
Like illness
Yeah.
or natural disasters, grief,
Yeah, those are heavy.
like just hard things
Yeah.
that are part of being human.
Yeah. She's not shying away from like the tough stuff.
No, she's not. And I think that's one of the strengths of this
Yeah.
whole address.
Okay.
She's not pretending life is easy.
Yeah, you're right.
She's meeting us where we are.
Yeah, with our backpacks full of rocks.
Full of rocks, exactly.
So we've got these backpacks full of burdens.
Yeah.
What does she say we're supposed to do with them?
Well, that's where Christ comes in.
Okay.
She says, and this is a powerful line,
Okay.
we were never meant to carry these burdens alone.
Wow.
Christ offers us relief.
Okay.
And this is key.
Yeah.
We have to choose it.
We can't just expect it to magically go away.
Exactly. It's not passive.
Right. We have to be active participants.
Yes, we have to participate in our own relief.
I like that.
And she ties this into this idea of accepting Christ's yoke.
Okay. That's a phrase we don't use every day.
No, not really.
So break that down for us.
Okay, so a yoke,
Oh.
it's like this tool that farmers use
Yeah.
to help distribute weight evenly.
Okay.
So when we accept Christ's yoke,
Okay.
we're basically saying,
Well, we can't do this on our own. Yes. We're acknowledging that we need help.
right,
We're shifting our reliance
Okay.
from our own limited strength.
to his infinite strength.
Exactly.
Oh, I like
It's like trading in our overloaded backpack
Okay,
for something that's actually designed to handle the weight.
that's a good visual.
Right.
Yeah, because our backpacks are breaking.
They are literally falling apart.
Yeah, and we're trying to patch them up.
With duct tape and hope.
Yeah, and it's not working.
Not at all.
So she's saying, like, let's trade this in
Trade it in for something better.
for the real deal.
Yes, for the
Yeah.
equipment that can actually handle this.
That's good. Okay, so how do we do that, though?
Well, that's where Greece comes in,
Okay.
which is, you know, a really important principle
Mm-hmm.
in Christianity.
Yeah.
It's not about earning relief
Okay.
through our own efforts.
Okay.
It's about accepting a gift
Okay.
that's already been given
Okay.
through Christ's sacrifice.
Okay, so it's not about being good enough
Yeah.
to get rid of the rocks.
It's about recognizing that we can't get rid of them on our own.
We need help.
We need help.
Okay, I like that.
And when we surrender,
Yeah.
when we let go of control,
Yeah.
and we tap into his grace,
Okay.
that's where we discover true relief.
Which, as she points out, is not always easy.
No, not at all.
She uses this analogy of a baseball pitcher
Oh, yeah.
who refuses to leave the mound,
Even though he's exhausted.
even though his arm is about to fall off.
And the reliever's right there ready to go.
Right there, ready and waiting.
Like, come on, man.
Let me help you.
Why are we so stubborn about holding on to these burdens?
It's the pride, isn't it?
Yeah.
That human tendency to think we can do it all.
Yeah, I got this.
I got this, even when we're drowning.
Which we've already established is not a good look.
Not a good look at all.
So how do we let go then?
Well, that's where covenants come in.
Okay.
And I know that might sound a little churchy,
Yeah.
but just stick with me.
Okay, we're here for it. Okay, so covenants,
Okay.
they're like sacred promises
Okay.
that we make with God.
Okay.
And when we keep our covenants,
Yeah.
we're essentially agreeing to let him share the load.
Okay.
It's not about magically erasing our problems,
Okay.
but it's about tapping into a source of strength.
Huh. That's bigger than ourselves.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's like we're plugging into a power source
Okay.
that can handle anything we face.
That's good.
Yeah, it's like plugging into an infinite power source, right?
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
It gives a whole new meaning to unlimited data.
Okay, I see what you did there.
But, you know, even with that understanding,
Hmm.
it's still hard sometimes
Oh, yeah.
to actually believe it, you know?
Yeah, like it's one thing to say, okay, covenants bring strength.
Right.
But when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, when you're drowning.
Yeah. And those burdens feel so real.
Totally. And I think that's why she brings up the story of Alma's people.
Oh, yeah. From the Book of Mormon.
Yes,
didn't know.
exactly. Because here they are facing intense persecution.
Yeah, like seriously intense.
Like they're forbidden to even pray out loud.
Oh, wow. So talk about heavy rocks.
Right. This is serious stuff.
Yeah. And they're still expected to, like, keep their covenants.
Right. Like, how do you even begin to find relief in that situation?
So what happens?
Well, amazingly, they do find relief.
Okay.
And she doesn't just say they found comfort.
Okay.
She uses this really vivid language from the Book of Mormon.
Oh, wow. What does it say?
It says their souls were filled with joy.
Wow.
And that their burdens were made light, even as a feather.
Okay, so it's not that their problems magically disappeared.
Right. It's deeper than that.
So, like, their perspective shifted.
Yes. And even more than that.
Oh.
Even the way they experienced those burdens physically changed.
Wow, that's
It
amazing.
shows how aligning ourselves with God
All right.
through covenants can totally transform us.
So it's not just about enduring the burdens.
Right. It's about facing them with faith and hope.
And even joy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Like we're not just surviving anymore. You're actually thriving.
Even with the rocks.
Yes, even with those heavy backpacks.
Because we've got the right equipment.
Exactly. We've got the power source.
Okay, so we've talked about seeking Christ's relief for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But Johnson doesn't stop there, does she?
No, she doesn't.
She challenges us to become conduits of that relief for other people.
Exactly. It's like she's saying, okay, now that you've got some relief, don't hoard it.
Share it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I like it.
It's about looking beyond our own backpacks for a minute.
And noticing what other people are carrying.
Yes, exactly. Like really seeing the people around us.
So it's not enough to just like deal with our own stuff.
Right. It's about lightening the load for other people.
Because that's what Christ would do.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, she reminds us that we've made covenants
Okay.
to mourn with those that mourn and to comfort those that stand in need of comfort.
Which sounds really nice.
It does, doesn't it?
But like in real life, it can be hard.
Oh, totally. Life is messy.
Yeah, and we get busy.
Exactly. And sometimes we just want to deal with our own stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's calling us to something higher.
To be more like Christ.
Yes. And that takes effort.
It takes intentionality.
It does.
Okay, so how do we do that? Where do we even start?
Well, she doesn't give us a list or anything, which I
Okay.
think is good
Okay.
because everyone's different
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's carrying different rocks.
So what she's saying is like, there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly.
Okay, so what does she suggest?
She talks about offering a listening ear,
Okay.
sharing a meal with someone who's lonely,
Mm-hmm.
or like lending a helping hand to a neighbor who's struggling.
So it's the little things,
It is.
the everyday things
That's it.
that can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
It's about seeing the rocks
Yeah.
and finding ways to help lighten the load.
Even if it's just for a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so beautiful about this whole idea of relief.
What do you mean?
It's not just about getting our own burdens fixed.
Okay.
It's about becoming part of something bigger.
Yes.
It's about sharing that relief with other people.
And realizing that in doing so,
Yeah.
we actually receive more relief ourselves.
Exactly. It's like this amazing cycle.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we see Christ's relief for ourselves, right? And then as we experience that relief, we're filled with this sense of gratitude.
Okay.
And then we want to share that.
Yeah.
So we reach out to other people.
Yeah.
And we offer them that same grace and compassion that we've received.
Okay.
And in doing that,
Yes.
we open ourselves up to receive even more of his grace.
Wow, I love that.
So it's like this beautiful cycle of giving and receiving.
It's like this upward spiral.
Yes, exactly.
With the more we give,
The more we receive.
the more we receive.
The more we're able to give.
Exactly, and it just keeps going.
And it transforms us in the process.
Yes, it does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not just about us, right?
Right, like this is bigger than just me and you.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like we become part of something.
Something bigger, yeah.
Yeah, like a movement almost.
Yeah, like a force for good.
Yes. And everyone can be a part of it.
Exactly, no matter how many rocks you're carrying.
Or what kind of rocks they are.
Exactly, we all have something to offer.
Okay, so to kind of bring it all together,
Okay.
what are some key takeaways from Johnson's message?
Well, first of all, relief is possible.
Okay.
Like it's not some far-off dream. It's available to us here and now,
Okay, I like that.
but we have to choose it.
Right, we have to actively seek it.
Exactly, it's not going to just fall into our laps.
We've got to put in the effort.
We do, and that effort might look like different things.
Okay, how so?
Well, for some people, it might look like prayer
Okay.
or scripture study or going to church.
Right, those are all good things.
They are, but for other people,
Yeah.
it might look like therapy
Okay.
or medication.
Right. Taking care of our mental and physical health.
Exactly, it's all connected.
Yeah, because our physical bodies and our spirits.
They're totally connected.
Yeah, so taking care of both is super important.
Absolutely, and I think another key takeaway
Right.
is that we don't have to do it alone.
Right, Christ is there to help us.
He is, and so are other people.
Yes, this is where that idea of becoming conduits of relief comes in.
Yes, exactly. We can be there for each other.
In big ways and small ways.
Exactly, and it's not about being perfect.
Right, none of us are perfect.
Not even close.
We're all just figuring it out as we go.
Exactly, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's about progress, not perfection.
Yes. I love that.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah?
I want to leave our listeners with a thought.
Okay.
President Johnson asked this really powerful question.
What was it?
She said, "What rocks are you carrying
Okay.
that you might be able to lay down?"
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, and I think it's a question we should all ask ourselves regularly.
Absolutely, because we all have rocks.
We do.
Every single one of us.
And some of those rocks we can give to Christ.
Yeah, he's strong enough to carry them.
And some of them we might need help carrying.
And that's okay to ask for help.
It's a sign of strength, not weakness.
Absolutely.
So as you go throughout your week,
yeah.
just be mindful of the rocks.
Rocks in your own backpack.
And the rocks that other people are carrying.
And be willing to help lighten the load.
Exactly, because that's what Christ would do.
He would, and it's what he asks us to do.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in.
Until next time.
Keep seeking that relief.
Yes, don't give up.
It's out there.
It is, and it's worth fighting for.
Beautifully said. Until next time.